Welcome scholars to this tutorial. This tutorial is brought to you by the Mathematical Academy. My name is Victor Uduabasi and I am popularly known as the Simplicity Tutor. I'm going to be your tutor for today. Now, we want to look at understanding algebra and order of operation, BODMAS, or what we popularly know as BODMAS, using the Cook-and-Math approach. So I came up with this approach in an attempt to help students that struggle a lot with understanding how to go about the order of operation, or what we know BODMAS, how to solve BODMAS, or how to solve questions that involve BODMAS, and also how to understand algebra. Some people find it difficult to solve algebraic question. And so I came up with this approach, right? So today we are going to be cooking fried rice mathematically. But before we go into all that, I'd like us to go through this BODMAS. We want to understand the order of operation rule. We want to understand it. So let's go through it one after the other. So here we have BODMAS. Now instead of me using BODMAS, I decided to use BODMAS. They are the same thing. So I replace O with I. O there means order, but I here is index. They are both the same thing. So it could be index, it could be exponent, it could be power, whatsoever. So here, let's start with bracket. Bracket here. So the first thing you are going to be considering when solving an algebraic question, or any question that involve you using this rule. In fact, there are so many questions, or most questions in mathematics requires you to understand this rule. So when you want to solve, you must make sure you start from bracket. But I have to emphasize something here, that here bracket is used here, not necessarily meaning just bracket. Bracket there is standing there to speak for what we call the grouping symbols. There are some symbols that are called grouping symbols. Now, I mean, these are symbols that group things together, right? Group numbers together or group terms together. So brackets, all these grouped together. That's why we have square root here, right? So this is called parentheses, brackets, and braces. But in Africa or Nigeria, where I come from, we call it the same thing. We call it all brackets. So that we don't confuse ourselves, I'll be calling it bracket. But you should understand that this is the innermost bracket, outer bracket, then this one is the outermost bracket, right? So when you use this bracket inside and you want to use a bracket next, you are using this one. After you've used both of them and you still want to use another bracket, this is what you will be using. So that's how it follows. Then we have our square root. So bracket here doesn't necessarily mean bracket. What it means is grouping symbols. So you work with your grouping symbols first before you go next to index. So you scan through your question to see if you have anything that looks like index. An example we have here is 3 raised power 3 or minus 2x all raised power 3, right? So after solving your problem that involves index, the next thing you should be considering is division or multiplication. Now I want to emphasize something here, that even though we are following this process, division and multiplication don't have an order when comparing both of them. They don't have an order. What that means is when you are trying to solve a problem and you see multiplication coming first before division, you are meant to solve multiplication first. Why is that? Now we have to note this, that while solving the order of operation rule, you must consider solving each term or expression from left to right. This is very important, from left to right. So let's say, for instance, you scan through your question and you see multiplication coming first from your left. So you solve multiplication before you divide. But if it's division that comes first, you will divide before you multiply. Same thing goes for addition and subtraction. There is no you have to add before you subtract because A comes before S. No. If subtraction comes from your left to your right, if subtraction comes before addition, you subtract before you add. So that is the rule that governs mathematics, and that rule is called order of operation rule. Now let's get on to solving cooking our fried rice mathematically. Now I know you are curious to see how this will pan out. Now these are all the ingredients that are required to cook fried rice. So I have grouped some of them, right? So I group these ones because they are all like terms. So I put this together. So I'm going to be solving. Now, here we have water, rice, turkey, rice. So we have turkey here. Then I will explain this later, why I have them like this. Now I have vegetable oil, onions, corn, carrots, peas, green beans. I have my liver, curry powder, Maggi, thyme, and salt. So I have all the ingredient that is required to cook a very delicious fried rice, but there is no pot before us, so we won't be cooking it realistically. So we'll be cooking it mathematically. Now let's go on. Now see here, you can see here that we have water, then we have bracket rice plus turkey, bracket close. So that means I will be multiplying, I'll be opening the bracket, right? Now before I go on to that, I want us to observe this. I have turkey minus turkey. Now why can't this turkey subtract this turkey? Because this turkey is protected inside this bracket, right? So this turkey can't subtract this turkey because of this bracket here. So we have to deal with the bracket first before this turkey can have access to the turkey out there, right? Now this my turkey here, because of space, you see how long it is. So this is not just a fresh turkey. Let's imagine that we've mixed it with our ingredients that we want to use to parboil our turkey. So it is mixed with the ingredients. So all we need to do is to put water. So our first step is we have equals to here. So water will multiply rice and water will multiply turkey. Let's go on. So when water multiply rice, what we have is, so we have our bracket, we have parboiled rice. So we have our plus. So we started cooking already. Follow me through. Now we have water multiplying turkey. So when we boil our turkey that is mixed with our ingredients, what are we going to have? We are going to be having boiled turkey. So I've opened the bracket. Right? This inner bracket is gone. So all I have here is minus turkey. Then I close my bracket. I have plus, bracket open. Now one thing we should understand when solving algebra is that we don't have to add everything at once. There are some times that you will ignore some expressions or some things and work on others. Why? Because we are following the rule. And that is why I came up with cooking. I use the idea of cooking because when you are cooking, right, or for you to be good at cooking, you have to be able to know what am I going to do first and what am I going to do next. I cannot do everything at once. What I mean is that I cannot just put water, put my rice, put my turkey and put everything together. I won't arrive at fried rice. I might arrive at another kind of rice, right? I might cook another kind of rice, but that would definitely not be fried rice. So for us to do this, we have to understand that as at this point, I don't need to put my oil and my onions on fire. So all I need to do is work with my brackets first. So my vegetable oil will still remain there. So I have my vegetable oil, right? Then plus onions. So here I have what? Corn, carrot, peas, and green beans. These are like terms. And what is it? When I add them together, I have what I call mixed veggies, or what we call vegetables. So when I add it together, I have my mixed veggies. Then I have my liver here, still lying there, probably diced, right? Then I have my curry powder, maggi, thyme, and salt. When I add them together, remember they are all like terms, and they fall under seasoning. I close my bracket. So we have started solving. We started simplifying. We started simplifying it, right? So it was wider. Now it's becoming smaller till we arrive at everything that we want to get. So the next thing we do, we have our equals to, then we have our bracket open. Now the next thing is scan through your question. What am I supposed to do first? Now remember I told you that while we are following the order of operation, we should consider solving each term or expression from left to right. Now I have parboiled rice plus boiled turkey. Now, if it's another kind of rice I want to cook, I might add it. But since we are dealing with fried rice, I can't add my parboiled rice inside my boiled turkey. That means as at the moment, they are not like terms. I hope you are following me. As at the moment, they are not like terms. So I cannot add my parboiled rice with my boiled turkey. But I can see, right, a like term here. I have boiled turkey and turkey, so I can work with that. So my parboiled rice will still be there, probably drained from water, right? Then I have boiled turkey minus turkey. So if I remove my turkey from my boiled turkey, what I have is turkey stock. So turkey stock is the water that is left when I take out my turkey. So the turkey that I took out, I can go and fry it, right? I can fry it out, that I'll use to enjoy my delicious fried rice. Now let's continue. So I have plus. Now I have my vegetable oil. So all these things are ready now. I can now put it inside a pan and fry. So when I put in my vegetable oil, my onions, right, stir it, put my mixed veggies, my liver that is diced, stir in it, and my seasoning, what will I have? I will have what I call fried sauce. So when I'll fry everything, right? So what I will, if I add all this together inside my pan, I will have fried sauce. So the next thing I will do is I extracted the turkey's water for a purpose. Now the idea is so that I will parboil this rice with this turkey stock so that it can absorb the ingredients, right? I want to make my fried rice very delicious. So I will use this, I will put this rice inside this turkey stock and boil it to some point so that it will absorb the ingredients, right? It will absorb that sweetness from the turkey stock or from the turkey water. Now let's continue. So when I do this, what I will have is what? Stock absorbed rice. So when I put my parboiled rice inside my turkey stock, I will have stock absorbed rice. That will be tasting nice. Then I still have my fried sauce inside one of my pan. Right? So you can see how it is that solving algebra is like cooking. You have to be able to understand or decipher steps you are meant to take. So you have to master what kind of step am I supposed to take first and what am I supposed to do next. So we've done this. Now I have my stock absorbed rice and I have my fried sauce. We are closer to enjoying our fried rice. So how can we do this? In my pan where I have my fried sauce, all I do is I'll take my stock absorbed rice and I'll pour it and stir. And you know, I will have my fried rice as my result. So I'll get my fried rice as my result. Now, this is how algebra is being solved. Now, we need to understand this thing. Any student out there that is watching this thing, you have to understand that basically, mathematics or solving algebra is like cooking. So, what you need to do is to sit down and calm down, sit down and understand this rule, master it, brackets, index. So, when you are solving, you scan through the question to ask yourself, what am I to do first? Based on the order of operation rule that we have here. What is my first course of action? After doing that, what is my next course of action? You go step by step until you arrive at your answer. So we are going to be solving some questions. I'll bring in some examples that will solve so that I'll put this into perspective and see how it relates to mathematics. Alright guys, so that is what I have for you today. I hope with this few points of mine, I'll be able to convince you that you can cook fried rice mathematically. Let's go to our examples. Alright guys, let's head on to our first example here. Now this is not an algebraic question, but I brought out these two examples so we can use it to master the order of operation rule. Alright, so here we have a question. It's 1 minus 4 bracket minus 2 plus bracket 5 minus 6 bracket raised power 2, and we have our bracket close. Now, this is the opening bracket for the inner bracket and the closing bracket for the inner bracket. This is the opening bracket for the outer bracket and this is the closing bracket for the outer bracket. Now there are so many things we are going to be considering in this example, right? Now the first thing we are going to be considering is 81 minus 4. Now some students might likely want to subtract 4 from 81, which is the wrong thing to do. And why is that? The reason is simple because minus 4 here is bonded to this bracket with the sign multiplication. Remember, bracket means multiplication. And this minus 4 is joined to this expression by multiplication. And according to the rule here, we are meant to multiply before we add or subtract. And also, there's something we need to understand that in mathematics, the bond of multiplication and division is stronger than the bond of addition and subtraction. Something we'll consider here again is, remember we are going to be starting with brackets, so we are going to be solving from the inner bracket out. So we'll start from the bracket and start solving outwardly. So the idea when solving problems like this, when you have brackets, is to solve from inner outward. So So from inside out, that's how we're going to be solving. Now, let's solve this question. Now, the first thing we're going to do is, so we have our equals to 81 minus 4. It remains the same, just like how we did it when we were cooking our fried rice mathematically. The idea behind solving questions like this is to first ask yourself, what is my first course of action? What am I supposed to do first? And what am I supposed to do next? But when we are following this rule here, we can see that it's easier. So the first thing we are targeting is here. So the rest will remain the same. So we have minus 2 plus, now we have 5 minus 9. Now here, 5 doesn't have any sign in front of it. And this 9 has this minus in front of it. And something we have to understand, that any sign in front of a number belongs to that number. This minus belongs to this 4, not 81. This minus belongs to this 2. Now this 5, you might say doesn't have any sign, but the sign in front of it, not this one, there's a sign in front of it, which is a positive sign. Now one thing we should also understand is that any number that stands on its own that doesn't have a negative sign automatically have a positive sign. So we have to understand that. So this 5 here is positive and this 9 here is negative. And if you want to subtract this, you can use this scenario where plus means I have, minus means I'm owing. So plus 5 means I have 5, minus 9 means I am owing 9. So if I give out 5, that means I'm still owing. How many am I owing? 4. So I'm owing means minus 4, right? Then we have our power of 2 and we close the bracket. So these are first course of action. The next thing we are doing is we scan through the equation. We can see index. So we are solving for index first. So this is what we are focusing on. The rest will remain the same, right? So we have equals to 81 minus 4. We have our bracket minus 2 plus, this is the plus here. So next, minus 4 raised to power 2 means minus 4 in 2 places. Minus 4 times minus 4. Minus times minus is plus. 4 times 4 is 16. So that means we have a positive 16. So we can write it like this. The next thing, remember, bracket. So we are still solving anything that is inside the bracket. We're going to be solving anything that is inside the bracket first before we consider anything outward. So here we still have 81 minus 4 bracket open. Now we have minus 2. Minus 2 means I'm owing, plus 16 means I have. So I'm owing 2, I have 16. That means I will collect a change of 14. Right? That means I have 14. That's a plus. The next thing is I will multiply, because this before I subtract, I will multiply, because multiplication comes before subtraction. So what I will do, my 81 will remain the same. Then minus times plus, that's minus 4 times 14. That will give us 56. Minus 56. Then next we subtract 81 minus 56. That will give us 25. And 25 is our final answer. So this is how we solve problems like this, following the order of it, right? Now let's solve the example 2 quickly. So remember, we are going to be solving from inner bracket outward. So here also we have our equals to minus bracket open, we have 1 minus. Now here we are solving things that are inside. So here we have index and we have division. So we can solve the index, right? So index here means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, that's 2 raised to power 4. 2 times 2 means 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 8, 8 times 2 16. So we have 16 plus, here we have 66 divided by 6. 66 divided by minus 6. Now this 66 don't have any sign in front of it. So that means it is a positive sign. So that plus is invisible. Now 6 here 1, 6 in this 11. Plus divided by minus is the same thing as plus times minus. So this is minus 11. So here we'll put it into bracket minus 11. So these are first course of action. Then we go to the next course. So we are multiplying this. We are opening this bracket. We multiply this, right? So what we are going to be doing here is, okay, this is a bracket, this is a bracket. So this is the opening and the closing, opening and closing, opening and closing. Right, so let's continue. So we have equals to minus. So 1 minus, then we have 16. Plus times minus, that's minus 11. Right? Then we have our bracket. Then next we continue solving. We solve inner bracket, this. So that will be equals to minus bracket 1 minus 16 minus 11, that's 5. Right? We continue solving. So that's minus. Now this 5 has a positive sign. So plus times minus, that's minus 5, sorry. That's minus 5. Then we have our bracket. So we solve this. So minus, we have our bracket. So minus 1 minus 5. 1 minus 5. So this one now have a positive sign in front of it. This one have a positive sign in front of it. And this negative sign belongs to 5. So I have 1 and only 5. That means I'm still only 4. That's minus 4. So here I multiply the signs. Minus times minus, that's plus. So I have plus 4 or 4 as my final answer. So this is how we solve problems using the order of operation or using BODMAS, or what I have on the board, BODMAS. Now let's go to the next example, which is algebraic question. Alright guys, let's go on to the next question. So here is an example and this is an algebraic question. So we want to solve this. So here our first example, we have 3 bracket open, a minus 2 bracket close, plus 2a minus 24. Now we have plus 2a minus 24. We can't add this because they are not like terms. This is the whole number and this is an algebraic term, right? So the first thing I'm going to do, we are going to be opening the bracket. So we have equals to 3 will multiply a and 3 will multiply minus 2. Remember when we were cooking our rice, our fried rice mathematically, I explained to you that most students make this mistake of multiplying this 3 with a alone. No. When you see this, you are going to use this 3 to multiply all the terms that are inside the bracket from the opening of the bracket to the closing. Right? So here we have 3 times a to give us 3a. 3 times minus 2, that will give us minus 6. Then we have plus 2a minus 24. The next thing we are going to do is to collect like terms. So it will be equals to, we have 3a here already. Then 2a comes here and we have plus 2a. Then we have minus 6 minus 24. We solve. So here we have 3a plus 2a. So it's just like 3 apple plus 2 apple. So what we have is 5 apple. Next we have minus 6 minus 24. Remember in our first example I told you minus means you are owing. So I was owing 6. Now I went to owe what? 24 again. So that means in total I am owing 30. That's minus 30. And this is our final answer. Why? Because we cannot subtract both of them, seeing that they are both unlike terms. Now let's go to the second example. Now see what we have here, right? Very long and sometimes it might feel scary. But all I will ask you to do is when you are encounter a problem like this, you have to calm down and solve it. And one of the things that will help you very well when solving things like this is when you master multiplying signs. Now what do I mean by that? That is what we have, minus times minus. So minus times minus, plus times plus, minus times plus, plus times minus. Now I have a cheat, right, that you can use to master this without you cramming it. So how do you do this? When you are multiplying same signs, right? When you are multiplying same signs, you will have a positive result. Same signs, positive result. Different signs, negative. Different sign, negative. Right? One way I can explain this is, let's imagine minus means negative, right? Plus means positive. When two negative people come together to achieve a thing, they will achieve it. That's plus. Now also, when two positive people come together to achieve something, they will achieve it. That is plus. So achieve means plus. Now when one negative person and one positive person come together, there will be conflicting of ideas and motive, and that will result in failure, which is minus minus. So you can use that scenario to understand this, and you must understand this very well for you to solve problems like this. Now what we are going to be doing here is 3 multiply this, 3 multiply this, 7 multiply this, 7 multiply this, minus multiply this, and minus multiply this. So the signs will be multiplying everything through. Now what most students make, some students make this an error by opening this bracket without allowing this minus to multiply through. And that is a very big mistake to do in mathematics. So So here we have positive 3 times positive e. So that will give us 3e. Next we have plus times minus. Remember this 3 has an invisible plus. So plus times minus. So what we have here, plus times minus, that's minus. 3 times 3 is 9. So we are done with this. We expanded the bracket. Now next we are doing this. Minus times invisible plus. That is minus 7 times 2e. That will give us 14e. Minus times minus will give us plus. 7 times 8 will give us 56. Now minus times invisible plus in front of e will give us minus e. Plus times minus times plus minus. Then we have our e. Minus times minus plus, and we have our 1. So the next thing we are going to be doing is collecting of like terms, right? So we have 3e already. Then we have, remember I told you that the sign in front of any number or a term belongs to that number or a term. So that means this minus belongs to this 9. This minus belongs to 14e. This plus belongs to this 56. This minus belongs to e, and this plus belongs to 1. So when you are collecting like terms, you must make sure as you are moving each number or each term, the signs are following it. So here we want to take this minus 14e closer. So it will go with its minus, right? So we have e here also. So minus e. Then next we have minus 9. Then we have plus 56. And we have plus 1. Right? So we solve this. So we have 3e minus 14e minus e. So remember I told you that plus means I have, minus means I'm owing. Right? So I have 3x, I'm owing 14x. Right? So what will happen? So when I solve this, 3x I have, I'm owing 14x. So I'll still be owing 11x. That's minus 11. And I owe another x, that's minus 12. So minus 12e. So this is minus 12e. So I'm owing 9 and I have 56. So when I give out 56 plus 56 means I have. So when I give 56, I have 47. So 47 plus 1, that's 48. That's plus 48. And this is our final answer. We cannot solve this because they are not like terms, so it can't be solved further. So this becomes our final answer. So this is how you can master the art of solving algebra, right? Using this process. You have to master your order, right? Your order of operation rules, and you have to master multiplying signs. See you later, guys. No, that won't be all for now. Sorry. But thank you for watching this tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed every bit of it. My name once again is Victor Odobasi, and I am the Simplicity Tutor. This tutorial that you just watched is a snippet from the course we are creating called the Mathematical course. The idea behind this course is to help students out there that are struggling in the subject mathematics. Over the years, I've been teaching the subject right from my secondary school days, and even in my university days when I was teaching my coursemates the subject, I have observed that so many students have an issue with this subject. And the problem that I identified is the fundamental of mathematics. Some of them did not have a good tutor, or they were not paying attention during their primary school days and their secondary school days, and obviously the subject becomes difficult for them to understand and comprehend. Using the gift and talent that I have in teaching this subject in a simplified way and in an unconventional way, I decided to create this course. Something interesting about mathematics and also scary is that for you to successfully solve a question, you will need the previous knowledge that you've had before to solve this question that you have before you right now. And this has been the problem, and that is why I came up to create this course. I released this video early to create an awareness of what I am crafting right here, and also to solicit for sponsorship. As I right now, most of the equipment I am using to create this course are rented. I would like to update this course as I come up with so many approaches and methods and hacks that will help students understand this subject better. And I also hope to create a dedicated website for the course so it can be easily accessible by those students out there. We hope to hear from you, and we hope to get your support in making this dream possible. and also putting smiles in the face of so many students that are struggling with this subject. If you wish to support us and also have access to this course when it is at its finished state, I would like you to reach out to me with the number on the screen. That's my WhatsApp number, and also you will see my account details in which you want to support in any form that you can. We will love your support and we wish that you can help us bring this dream into reality. Thank you and God bless you for your support. It means a lot to us. Signing out is the Simplicity Tutor.